Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park. And today's another one of our segments. We'll be discussing the upcoming Committee of the Whole and formal board meeting on Monday. So this Monday is going to be February 27th. And so at 7:30 in the evening, we'll have our Committee of the Whole. Directly after that, we'll have our formal board meeting. So let's start. So for Monday, February 27th, the Committee of the Whole agenda is as follows. Number 1 is the call to order, the roll call. Number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 is amendments of the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for President Bullwinkle or the trustees to amend the Committee of the Whole agenda. It could be taking something off, it could be tabling it, it could be asking questions, things of that nature. Number 4 for the Committee of the Whole for Monday is discussion of the special events application packet. Presently, applications for various events are processed in different village departments through different applications. Staff proposes to use a new special event application packet which combines all applications for various requests and events into one coordinated packet. This new format reduces confusion, lists applicable fees, provides improved coordination, provides tracking, and planning. It also gives departments the time necessary to assure a successful event that promotes a positive reflection upon the Village of Villa Park. So folks, right now we use multiple applications for different events throughout the village. So the police department may receive an application, Parks and Rec, Public Works, and so staff has went and combined all these different applications into the special events application packet. So if you want to put on a 5K run, you would fill out the special events packet. If you want to have a carnival in the village, you would fill out the same packet. And inside the packet, there's different pages for different things. So if you would like to request a closure of a road for a 5K run, there's an area there. If you would like to borrow barricades or tables and chairs, there's a page there for that. And it kind of takes the event coordinator through various sections of the packet, including discussion of fireworks. So folks, staff has spent some time putting this together and believe this is what we'd like to do as staff to create efficiency and coordination throughout the departments of the village. Number 5 for the Committee of the Whole for Monday night is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a master tax exempt lease purchase agreement with American Capital Financial Services, Inc. On July 25, 2016, the Village Board approved the purchase of a Peterbilt Model 348 truck with a net cost of $168,595.69. On January 9, 2017, the Village Board approved the purchase of 2 Physio Control LifePak heart monitor defibrillators in an amount of $58,215.03. Both purchases were planned to be financed through a 5-year capital lease, which is to be considered for approval with the attached resolution. So we do have a resolution attached to the agenda for Monday night. Staff requested proposals from 6 banks and lending institutions, with 3 submitting proposals. The lowest cost to borrow was provided by American Capital Financial Services. The village will borrow $216,810.72 with total nominal payments of $227,647.85 over 5 years, which is an interest rate of 2.327%. Another bank provided a lower interest rate, but the overall cost to borrow was higher due to the repayment schedule and other factors. So folks, we're just going to pay for these 2 items through a 5-year lease. It's no different than what we did with the 2 ambulances and some other vehicles that we purchased. And we kind of like doing this so it doesn't use all of our equipment replacement funds all at once. So we still have some funds available to purchase things, and then we'll do the lease. And it's a great interest rate, 2.327% for 5 years. That's not bad at all. And number 6 for the Committee of the Whole is to convene to the formal agenda. So folks, it's not a long Committee of the Whole. We do have additional items on the formal agenda that were brought forward through the Planning Commission. So those will be on the later part of the formal agenda for a vote for themselves. So let's start with a formal agenda for Monday night, February 27th. So number 1 is the Village President's Report. And folks, that's the appropriate time for Village President Bowinkle to kind of give us a summary of what's been happening in her role as Village President. Could be emails, it could be questions for staff, things of that nature. Number 2, public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by President Bowinkle, and address the board on agenda items. Number 3 for the formal agenda for Monday night is amendments of the agenda. Folks, that's the appropriate time for President Bowinkle or the Board of Trustees to modify or revise the formal agenda for that evening. Number 4 on the formal is the consent agenda. And folks, we have A through D for Monday night. So A is bill listing dated February 27th, 2017 in the amount of $1,538,131.75. B, minutes from the Village Committee of the Whole meeting for February 13, 2017. C, minutes from the Village Formal Board meeting for February 13, 2017. D is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a master tax-exempt lease purchase agreement with American Capital Financial Services, Inc. On July 25, 2016, the Village Board approved the purchase of a Peterbilt Model 348 truck with a net cost of $168,595.69. On January 9, 2017, the Village Board approved the purchase of 2 Physio Control LifePak heart monitor defibrillators in an amount of $58,215.03. Both purchases were planned to be financed through a 5-year capital lease, which is to be considered for Monday night with the attached resolution. Staff requested proposals from 6 banks and lending institutions, with 3 submitting proposals. The lowest cost to borrow was provided by American Capital Financial Services. The village will borrow $216,810.72 with total nominal payments of $227,647.85 over 5 years, which has an interest rate of 2.327. Another bank provided a lowest interest rate, but the overall cost to borrow was higher due to the repayment schedule and other factors. So folks, that's the end of the consent agenda. Pretty short this Monday night. Again, number 4 is the consent, A through D for Monday night. So now let's move on to number 5 for the formal board meeting for Monday, February 27th, which is a first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the rezoning of the property located at 257 to 277 East North Avenue to the C3 Service Business District. Petitioner is seeking a rezoning of the 2.76 acre parcel along the south side of North Avenue between Ardmore Avenue and Villa Avenue from the R1 Single Family Residential District to the C3 Service Business District. At the public hearing on February 9, 2017, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Folks, that property is under contract to be sold. That's the village's, and we're just securing the proper zoning so that the sale of property can proceed. Number 6 is a first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, granting a variance to allow the construction of a two-story addition in the required front yard setback at 408 North Yale Avenue. And I'm going to flip my page here. So the petitioner is seeking a variance to the required front yard setback to add a two-story addition to the home located at 408 North Yale Avenue, approximately 7 feet into the required setback. At the public hearing on February 9, 2017, no one spoke in opposition to the request, and the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval. So folks, that sounds like a very nice project, a two-story addition. Sounds like it's a great project for that homeowner. So that's been approved, and hopefully the board will approve that also. So number 7 for the formal board meeting for Monday night is the first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending Ordinance 3951 to grant an amended special use for a planned unit development, also known as a PUD, by approving a sign amendment for the property located at 250 to 306 West North Avenue. So the petitioner is seeking an amendment to the PUD at North Park Plaza for a final approval of a sign amendment for the Wendy's restaurant to be located on Outlot C of the shopping center. At the public hearing on February 9, 2017, the Planning and Zoning Commission discussed this proposal and unanimously recommended approval of this amendment. So folks, obviously there's going to be a brand new Wendy's constructed at the North Park Plaza on North Avenue, and this is just one more of the items that needs to be taken care of prior to construction. So they'll have a nice building and a brand new sign identifying Wendy's. So can't wait for that to be constructed. Hopefully that'll start in the spring, and maybe sometime this summer we'll have a new Wendy's to visit. So moving on to number 8 for the formal board meeting for February 27th is a final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, regulating small cell wireless telecommunication facilities. In 2007, the village adopted regulations recommended by the Illinois Municipal League, also known as the IML, in response to the state cable and video competition law for the use of the village's right-of-ways by telecommunications retailers and utility companies. Those regulations were reasonable and up-to-date based on the uses of the right-of-way at that time. The village recently received a single application for a small cell wireless telecommunications facility to be located on an existing ComEd utility pole. This new technology is not significantly, or I should say sufficiently, addressed in the existing regulations to protect the village's interest in its rights of ways, and other municipalities have recently done. Additional regulations are recommended with a supplemental permit. The ordinance in question adds regulations to the existing right-of-way regulations that are based on the standards of ordinances of various suburban communities and a recent model ordinance from the IML. And folks, we tabled this item last time on February 13th so that we could discuss with T-Mobile and AT&T this particular item. They had some questions. Both those carriers had questions and some requests. And one of the requests was to change the setback from 50 feet to something less. And so what we did as a village is we took a look at what we were proposing and changed the 50-foot setback to the height of the pole plus the antenna. So if the pole is 30 feet, the antenna is 7 feet, so it's a 37-foot setback. So it'll be a little bit less than the 50. And hopefully that'll please AT&T and T-Mobile, and we'll finalize this item Monday night and move forward with the cell facilities throughout the residential neighborhoods, but it'll be regulated properly. So moving on to number 9 which is public comments on non-agenda items. So folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by President Bowinkle, and address the board and staff and President Bowinkle concerning items that are not on the agenda. Number 10 is the village clerk's report, and that's the appropriate time for Village Clerk Kornecki to kind of give us an update in her role as village clerk. Could be emails, questions for staff, could be something about the SALT meeting that's coming up, things of that nature. Number 11 is the village trustees report, and that's the appropriate time for the trustees to kind of give us a brief summary of what's been happening in their role as trustees since the last time we met. That could be questions for staff or emails that they've received. Number 12 is the village manager's report, and that's the appropriate time for myself to give you and the board and anyone in the audience an update of what's been happening in my role. That could be the amount of snowfall, rainfall, that could be legislation proposed in Springfield that will affect the village, things of that nature. Number 13 is the village attorney's report, and that's the appropriate time for village attorney Ora Binninger to kind of give us an update what's been happening in their role, and that could be legislation in Springfield or proposals to change certain ordinances, things of that nature. And then number 14 is adjournment. So folks, we won't even have an executive closed session this week. So there's some interesting items on our Committee of the Whole and formal agenda for Monday, February 27th. So please, if you have some time, tune in, or if you have some more time, come and visit with us during the meeting and partake. I certainly would appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the warm weather and lack of snowfall. It won't be long and spring will be here, and we'll spring forward with the clocks, things of that nature, and enjoy the beautiful green grass and our prairie path, car shows, things of that nature. It won't be long. So folks, again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be the village manager for the Village of Villa Park, and I'm signing off. We'll see you next time. Take care.